This is 5 on your side at 4. Focused on you.
Tonight at 4, we're getting reaction to that major cleanup of radioactive contamination in St. Louis County. This after we first told you the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers finished its project to remove radioactive soil around Jana Elementary. Thanks for being here at 4. I'm Kay Quinn.
And I'm Brent Solomon. Jana Elementary closed in 2022 after conflicting reports about levels of contamination. 5 on your side, Justina Cornell is here now with that reaction. And Justina, this has been emotional since day one. How much soil did those crews get rid of?
Well, I'm told about 7,400 cubic yards of contaminated soil was removed, and in layman's terms, that's the equivalent to just more than 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. In some parts of the area, it required crews to go down as deep as 14 feet. Coldwater Creek was contaminated by radioactive material from the making of the first atomic bomb. And the Army Corps said there was low-level radioactive contamination on the banks of the creek, which is on the edge of Jana Elementary's property boundary. Today, the St. Louis district manager for the cleanup program said a challenge was working with an active stream. I also caught up with the former Jana Elementary School PTA president. Ashley Burnaugh is happy to hear a little section of the 14-mile creek is a bit safer.
I think the school board deserves credit for making sure the school was closed so that our kids were not playing out here having field day celebrating the end of school while radioactive waste was driving by and being dug up next to them while they played on the playground.
Now, this also comes at a time as local advocates, including Burnaugh, have been fighting for federal legislation to get victims of radioactive waste compensated. Now, the goal was to expand and extend the Radiation Exposure Compensation Act, known as RECA, to include Missouri. However, that program is set to expire tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Justina. Tonight, the Kirkwood City Council is expected to vote on a resolution that would request St. Louis County lower the speed limit on Big Bend Road. If passed, the speed would drop to 30 miles an hour from Interstate 270 eastward to the Kirkwood city limits. City officials say the speed limit on Big Bend Road currently ranges from 35 to 40 miles an hour. St. Louis County Councilman Dennis Hancock says if the resolution passes, he will support it.
Well, you have about an hour left to share your concerns about a meat packing plant and its water treatment facility. This is planned near Wright City. It's being built next to the Paruque Creek, which is directly feeding into Lake St. Louis. People who live there are concerned about water contamination. Owners of the beef plant are going through the permit process with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, even as construction is underway. We have a link to the online comment form on the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com.
The Red Lobster restaurant on St. Charles Rock Road in Bridgeton could be closing. It's one of the locations in danger of shutting down if a court approves the company's bankruptcy plan. Red Lobster filed for bankruptcy last month and wants to close several dozen more restaurants if it's unable to renegotiate their leases.
It was 80 years ago today. The course of history changed. The largest group of Allied forces ever, led by American service members, pushed across the western coast of France. They engaged in a fierce battle with German troops. 3,000 U.S. soldiers, sailors, and pilots died in the first 24 hours of the D-Day invasion. It ultimately turned the tide of World War II. Well, those who fought are now being remembered. NBC's Jay Gray is in Normandy for the special day.
80 years later, the shots fired from the cliffs at Omaha Beach are a tribute far different from the violent blast that met U.S. and Allied troops on D-Day.
Yeah. You don't know what we're seeing, really.
What they saw and what they did, their dedication and courage, changed the course of history.
The price of unchecked tyranny is the blood of the young and the brave. In their generation, in their hour of trial, the Allied forces of D-Day did their duty.
That service, their sacrifice, honored during a solemn ceremony here today. With military tributes, including the Legion of Honor, France's highest military award, presented by French President Emmanuel Macron to 11 U.S. servicemen, including Private First Class Calvin Shiner. Like so many who've come back to what they knew as a battlefield, now a pristine graveyard memorial. Shiner deflects the attention instead, focusing on his friends, marked by white headstones, those who never got the chance to go home.
I'm always very sad about those fellas that couldn't leave, and the ones that made it possible for me to be here.
He calls them heroes, though truth is, they're all heroes.
And so our gratitude must never fade. Our memories must never dim, and our resolve must never fail.
Because their resolve, their courage never failed in the hours it was needed most. Jay Gray, NBC News at the American Cemetery in Normandy.
Coming up tonight at 6, Mike Bush has a special D-Day Making a Difference report. A 102-year-old local veteran is in France for the ceremonies.
The city of St. Louis starting a new tradition tonight. This is a live look at the city's newest block party called Downtown Summer Nights. It's a live look at Keener Plaza. The fun begins in about an hour. Summer Nights will be every Thursday night through August. Greater St. Louis Inc. says the entertainment will change each week from live music to DJs to a movie. Food will be available every week. The idea is to boost local businesses and encourage foot traffic in downtown St. Louis. All right, let's turn it over to Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell to tell us how the weather will look for that event. Scott?
You know, it is looking great all across the area this evening. There's really no weather concerns that we have at this point. We have clear skies from St. Charles to Belleville, and in between sits Keener Plaza. And right now, temperature is 86 degrees on Keener Plaza. You see some showers down over the Ozarks sliding away from us. You know, we just don't see much in the way of rain chances for about the next 24 to 36 hours. After that, it changes for the weekend, and we'll talk more about that in a few minutes. But it's warm out there. The big difference today is that humidity way down from what we saw yesterday. 2 points have dropped back into the 40s and 50s. Man, it feels great out there. Temperatures will slide back into the 70s, so a perfect evening to head over to Keener Plaza.
Yeah, I was going to say it's warm, but it feels good, Scott. Thank you. Developing today in Kansas City, the Chiefs had to cancel practice because of a medical emergency. Defensive lineman B.J. Thompson went to the hospital this morning. He had some type of a cardiac event. This was during a team meeting. According to the Associated Press, team trainers and medical staff were all able to react quickly and treat Thompson until paramedics could get there. The second-year player played in one game last year.
Still ahead, a view from inside a tornado. Check out the video shared by someone stuck in traffic during a storm.
Plus, YouTube cracking down on videos that show guns. The new regulations to protect children.